CTV Calgary, local breaking news.
Good afternoon. The wife of a man who died in an Edmonton emergency room is calling for accountability. 44-year-old Prashant Srikumar died last Monday from a possible cardiac arrest at Grey Nuns Community Hospital. His wife, Niharika, says her husband started having chest pains at work and was driven to the acute care facility. He would wait 8 hours in the emergency departments before his death. Niharika tells CTV News that she wants answers.
I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. I am ready to look into their eyes and tell them that I am here to get justice for Prashant. They have withdrawn, they have killed. It is called first-degree murder in front of my eyes, in front of his eyes. I will not let my tears dry. I will not let this fire die off anytime soon till I'm alive.
In a statement, the Alberta government says Covenant Health has initiated a review into the deaths. Well, some passengers living with a disability have been speaking out against WestJet and the weight restrictions it has placed on mobility aids. Here's Alex Karpa.
Travel has always been a big part of Cherise Griffin's life. She's flown countless times with WestJet before and never had any issues. That is, up until this year. The airline's weight restriction policy for power wheelchairs has made flying much more difficult.
A lot of hassle. It's been frustrating and angry.
WestJet has a cap of 300 pounds for mobility aids on the vast majority of its aircraft. Griffin says this limit is a barrier for many power wheelchair users.
Majority of power wheelchairs like mine, are over 300 pounds.
Former MP Stephen Fletcher says he was told by an airline agent last February that they would not be able to carry his wheelchair on a flight from Winnipeg to Toronto due to its weight.
WestJet has invented a policy that discriminates.
Fletcher filed a regulatory complaint with the Canadian Transportation Agency. In a documented response, the airline said accessibility regulations allow it to refuse transport of heavier mobility aids. The document also states that power wheelchairs would, quote, jeopardize aircraft airworthiness.
That is a very serious thing to say, because if it's true, then we have an international crisis.
We reached out to WestJet to get a better explanation of their decision, but have not received a response. For Griffin, the message to the airline is simple: change the rule.
All I'm looking for is equal access so that I can fly on the same carrier that you can.
Griffin says flying is already difficult enough for her in the situation she is in, but says this rule makes it far more stressful and uncomfortable. Alex Karpa, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Canadians and all other non-U.S. citizens are now required to be photographed when entering or leaving the U.S. The new security regulations came into effect Friday, but could take years to fully implement. The department says it will use facial recognition technology to match a traveler's photo with existing passenger information on file with the U.S. government. The records could be held for up to 75 years. Well, Calgarians are getting a break at the pumps this holiday season, with gas prices now dropping below $1 a liter in parts of the city. Stations across the city are advertising prices in the 90-cent range. Industry analysts say several factors are at play, including lower wholesale fuel costs, refinery maintenance coming to an end, and seasonal demand that hasn't fully ramped up yet. This is the cheapest average gas since the pandemic and comes as oil sits close to a 4-year low. The price of West Texas Intermediate is at $57 a barrel. 26 recall campaigns for MLAs in the province are in the signature collection phase. That includes the recall petition for Angela Pitts, the MLA for Airdrie East. Canvassers started going door to door to collect signatures over the weekend. They estimate they're between a quarter and a third of the way to the number of required signatures for a recall vote. One canvasser says she has been frustrated by the UCP's use of the notwithstanding clause to end the teacher strike, along with the government's handling of AISH.
When I saw that this campaign was started in my riding, I just wanted to do something. I wanted to get involved. I feel like this is one of the only ways that I can have a voice and express my discontent.
has until February 3rd to collect just under 15,000 signatures. If it meets the threshold, a recall vote would be held. One of the original stars of the Calgary Flames has died. Guy Chouinard was 69. He was one of the top players on the Atlanta Flames when they moved to Calgary in 1980, and Chouinard scored the first goal for Calgary in its first NHL game. He later coached from 1985 to 2010 in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. The Flames posted that Chouinard was a franchise legend, and the Flames alumni says as tremendous as he was a player, he was an even better person. Well, some of North America's best AAA under-18 hockey teams are in town for the Circle K Classic, which is now underway. 32 teams are competing over the next few days in Calgary. Team Maryland is making their debut at the Circle K Classic. They're being coached by a former NHLer who never got his shot to play in the tournament, but is living the experience through his players.
At the end of the day, hockey is about experiences, and I think this tournament is about experiences. It's a great chance for them to be a part of a hockey community. The Battle of Alberta was on yesterday, for them to see that, the weather, just everything about it is something that I'm lucky enough to share with them and that I knew about.
The tournament runs through New Year's Day. Well, thanks very much for joining us. Our 6 p.m. news is preempted tonight because of the NFL. We'll have more on the top stories coming up on the CTV News at 5 or anytime online at ctvnewscalgary.ca.